Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week when we try to solve today's Times Cryptic crossword for you. And we do that slowly and try and explain all the thought processes, such as they are, that go on in our minds with a view to hopefully helping you with your own solving. Now today's puzzle is by James McGaughey, who I think I've done two puzzles in this masterclass series by James, and they've both been fantastic, especially the clue writing. And the snitch today was, it is harder than average, this puzzle, but not too monstrous. Not as monstrous as some of the ones we've had to do on Fridays recently. Fridays seems to traditionally be, oh, actually, look, this is definitely harder than average, because Moan, this is the first name I recognise here as definitely not being a typist. So a typist is somebody who goes to the internet, finds the answers and types the answers in. And believe it or not, there are loads of people who like to do that. Anyway, this is John McCabe, number 6. That's a real time. Now, I think John's average time for a Times crossword is 4 minutes something. I mean, it's just incredible. But so 6 minutes 58 is a lot longer than John would normally take. Mystigris is real. 7 minutes 19. Aphis 99 is Andrew Fisher, I think. 7:44. Again, these are going to be longer than average times. But the two names that are jumping out here at me are Verlaine, Matthew Marcus, current world crossword champion, and former winner of the Times Crossword Championship, 9 minutes. That's definitely longer than Matthew's normal time. And Magoo is our very own Mark Goodliffe, and that's 10 minutes, and that's double Mark's normal time, I would guess. So I'm pretty sure actually this is a little bit harder than I was anticipating when I looked at the snitch when I woke up this morning. But never mind, it's all good. Now I've got a couple of things to mention before we start solving today. Firstly, thank you so much to everybody who came over to us at Dash. We did Dash last Saturday, which is a different area, same hunt. It's like a puzzle hunt, and there were 300 people doing Dash this year up in London. We met up on Primrose Hill, and then sort of you go around London and you solve puzzles. So it's fantastic. If you like puzzles, it's really a lovely way to spend the day. But lots of people came up to me and sort of said that they've been watching the channel, and especially these videos, which just it's fantastic. So to everybody who came up and said hello, thank you for introducing yourself. It is a rare, well, it's rare that I'm allowed out of my attic, frankly, but when I do get let out to actually meet real people who actually like what we do is a treat. So that's the first thing. Now there is a bit of extra content as well going up on Patreon. Patreon is our sort of site associated with the channel where we put some extra content. Now Mark today has released his solve of the latest Times Club Monthly special, which is it must be under specialist here. Where is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't do that puzzle every month, but I do know it's monstrously hard. And Mark tries to do it without a dictionary, and would be one of the very, very few people on the planet who could do that. So that's definitely worth watching. Even if you're an expert solver, believe me, that's worth watching. And also, we had a really good response. I did a series of videos a few weeks ago in which I attempted a listener crossword called Listen by Eck. And it required 7 videos for me to crack it. They're over on Patreon at the moment. But lots of people really seem to enjoy those. So I've done it again, actually, for this puzzle here, Spyder by Sabre. Which is, I think the closing date for this one's just gone, but I'm not going to say anything about it, other than there are a few videos, and they're going to start going up probably next Wednesday afternoon. So if you do want to see how listener crossword solving works, that might be interesting. And yeah, so next Wednesday I think is probably when they'll start to go live, if that's of any interest. And I've got 2 birthdays to do today. They're not for today, though. I'll start off with Ollie. Ollie, you're turning 46 tomorrow. And I know this because your partner Ben wrote to us. And apparently the 2 of you have been following since part 1 of these crossword videos, which is now it's over 2 years ago. And I think the 2 of you were at Dash. I don't think I met you, but I think you might have met Mark. I'm not sure. But anyway, I wish I'd met you. And Ollie, I hope you have a great day tomorrow with, of course, a large slice of heavily iced chocolate cake. And then for the 23rd, which is in 4 days' time, Phil, it's your birthday. And I know this because your wife, Diona, wrote to us. And I mean, Phil sounds like just a total genius, frankly. Works for one of the big banks. Has just finished, I presume while working for the bank, another degree in maths and physics and a master's in astrophysics. And Diona says you're a great dad, friend and husband, Phil. So, I mean, wow. I hope you have a great birthday next week, and I hope the chocolate cake is suitably iced. And with all that said and done, let's have a look. Let's get on with some crossword solving of our own. I've got my dictionary. I won't use the dictionary to cheat unless we get properly stuck, but I'll use it to sort of explain principles as we go along. But let's get cracking. Here we go. We want this one, don't we? And the screen is in the right place. So 1 across, 8 letters. Let's see what James McGaughey has in store for us. We've got Mike quits Cambridge running home for a lark. Well, it's a brilliant clue, and I have actually solved it, which is a rarity. If you get 1 across, you sort of feel this slight sense, this small sense of euphoria, because of course we're going to get 4 starting letters from this. So, quick recap: if you've never seen a cryptic crossword clue before, every single one of these clues contains a straightforward definition of the answer to be entered, and the rest of the clue, the bit that isn't the definition, that is what I sometimes call a recipe, telling you how to construct the answer. So it might be to take a little piece of this word with an anagram of this word and put them together. But they'll have to be precise instructions. They can be disguised in terms of how they're worded, but they will have to be precise. So let's look at this clue. The straightforward definition is normally, very often in fact, either at the start of the clue or the end of the clue. It doesn't have to be one word, it can be a series of words. So here we're looking for an 8-letter word which might mean Mike, or Mike quits Cambridge, or Mike quits. Doesn't sound terribly likely, does it? If we look at the other side of the clue, we've got the word lark, or home for a lark perhaps. We'll talk about the question mark in a couple of seconds. But I mean, I'd argue if you know that principle, you're probably looking for something to do with birds or larks, or I mean, if you have a lark, obviously you could be having a bit of fun, so it might be a synonym for that too. So how does the rest of the clue work? If we've decided the end of the clue is more likely to be the definition, how does the recipe work? Well, Mike quits Cambridge. Mike, it's quite important, this does come up a lot, to have a reasonably good knowledge of sort of the international radio alphabet. So like Alpha, Bravo, Juliet, Romeo, all of these words that indicate a letter. So Mike in international radio communication is the letter M. So when I see Mike quits Cambridge, I'm not thinking about some man called Mike leaving the city of Cambridge. I'm thinking about the letter M leaving the letters CAMBRIDGE. And immediately, especially as you get more experience at this, you'll be thinking, well, it's an 8-letter clue. If I take M out of Cambridge, I've got 8 letters left. Now, it's very important. If you're new to cryptic crosswords, you've probably come across the fact that, oh, cryptic crosswords, they're all about anagrams, aren't they? Well, they are, but the constructor, or the clue has to tell you it's an anagram. Mike quits Cambridge does not say anagram, the letters of Cabridge. It doesn't say that. but the word running then appears. And if something runs, it's sort of, if a liquid runs, it sort of changes position, doesn't it? So it's this word running that is telling us that the letters left after we've taken M out of Cambridge are going to move around. And that's all the recipe. So we're looking for an anagram of CABRIDGE, and the definition is therefore home for a lark. And the answer is birdcage, which is a home for a bird. And why is the question mark here? Well, it's because a birdcage is a home for a bird, and a lark is an example of a bird. So a possible home for a lark would be a birdcage. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lark, but it could be. So that's what the question mark's doing. Now, the question mark in cryptic crosswords has a lot of different meanings. So we'll probably come across, I'm just looking at the clues now to see if there are any other question mark clues. Oh, there is one here. So maybe when we get to this one, we'll find a different type of question mark. One of the common things a question mark's used for, which breaks one of the rules I've given you already, is to indicate what we call a cryptic definition. So some clues, you have to read the whole clue and just think about it in a lateral way. And a clue like that might have a question mark at the end. But anyway, we've got one across. We've spent some time talking about how clues sort of work as a general principle, but we're definitely going to use the starting letters. So let's look at one down, which is 6 letters, beginning with B. Skirt, father maid, lasts for countless parties. That's a brilliant clue again. I mean, last week's clues were incredible by John Guiver, but James is another one who is just writes fantastic clues because it conjures up an image. A skirt father maid lasts for countless parties. I actually don't know what this is. I mean, I've had an idea, but it makes no sense to me as to why it was. So the idea that's popped into my head is the word beanos, because a beano is a party. So I'm wondering if somehow this is beanos. Skirt, father, maid. So obviously if the answer's parties, the rest of the clue has to be a recipe. I don't have a clue. I mean, father, if we see that I mean, Mark's great advice for cryptic crossword solving is to think of short synonyms for words in the clue. So if we go through this clue, skirt, can we think of any short synonyms for the word skirt? A mini skirt, maybe? A father can be par, couldn't it? It can also be FR as an abbreviation. Or pop or dad or something like that. Skirt, father, maid. I don't know. I'm just baffled by that. I'm a bit embarrassed. But let's have a look at 2 down, beginning with R. Perish climbing rocky peak. Okay, so is this about a death climbing a mountain? No. Ignore the apparent meaning of the clue. It will not help you. The trick here is to know a word for a rocky peak that comes up in crosswords all the time, and that word is the word tor. You might have heard of if you've never done cryptic crosswords, you might have heard of Glastonbury Tor. That's probably the most famous tor that isn't from crosswords. But if we look up the word tor, there we go, a rocky height. So whenever you see references to rocky heights in crosswords, it's always the word tor. And this is a down clue. So if the rocky tor climbs, that implies it reverses. It turns upside down. And if we reverse the word tor, we get rot. And if something perishes, it rots, doesn't it? So I think that's going to be the answer for that one. Let's try 3 down, beginning with C, 9 letters. So notice sage right at the top. Notice sage right at the top. Oh, that's just brilliant. That is just a brilliant clue. Okay. So what I said at the start was that the clues, each clue contains a straightforward, I think I even used the word straightforward definition of the answer. And that is true. However, I will say that the definition in this clue here, even if I told you what it is, it's not very easy to solve. It is a quick crossword clue. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that the definition of this 9-letter word is right at the top, question mark. And when you get it, you'll be just like, oh, that's brilliant. It is brilliant. Oh, I've got it. Sorry, I've just got a WhatsApp message. I can't focus on that. So how does the rest of the clue work? Well, we've got notice and sage. Sage is a word. I mean, sage can be a herb, obviously. But if you're sage, you're learned, aren't you? Or you're thinking of Mark's short synonyms, wise. And that's actually how I got the clue. I thought of the synonym wise for the word sage. If you notice something, you spot it, don't you? Or you clock it. And therefore the answer is clockwise. And right at the top refers to the fact that the hands on a clock, if it's a sort of analog clock rather than a digital clock, obviously go to the right. They go clockwise. I mean, so that's what the question mark is doing here. It's basically saying, I am being outrageous, as in I, the constructor, I am being outrageous by making you think laterally about what right at the top might mean. But it's beautiful. For me, that's an absolutely classic clue. And, well, no, let's carry on. Let's look at 4 down. So we've got 7 letters, beginning with G. Irish mistake swallows... I see. Irish mistake swallows for larger African species. Yeah, it's doable, this one. But the wording is lovely. Because the wording of the clue, when you read it, it suggests that, you know, the Irish people have mistaken some birds they're seeing on safari for some larger African species. And that's got absolutely nothing to do with the way we're meant to pass the clue. So make a decision in your own mind. What do you think the definition is here? Do you think it's Irish, or a word for an Irish mistake? Or do you think it's an African species, or a larger African species, or just species? And when you've made your decision, try and think about the rest of the clue and think about how that could be read as a recipe. Now, the way I solved this actually was, I suppose, the Mark method. I thought of a short synonym for the word mistake because we had the G at the start of the clue. And the word I thought of was a gaffe. If you make a mistake, you make a gaffe. And then the larger African species is suddenly shouting the word giraffe at me. And then we're just trying to justify it. How does the recipe work? Well, Irish, if we look in the dictionary under IR, we will see, oh, no, I thought we were going, oh my, okay, there. So one of the abbreviations, IR, is for Irish. So IR, which mistake swallows. So the gaffe swallows the IR, it therefore contains the IR in its tummy. And that gives giraffe, which is a larger African species. Now, I say this every week, but it bears repetition. You can't just abbreviate words to their first letter or their first 2 letters. The abbreviation has to be supported by the dictionary. So if we'd looked in the dictionary there and we hadn't found IR being a valid abbreviation for Irish, there would have been two possibilities. My dictionary could have been out of date because my dictionary is old, or I could be getting the clue wrong, because abbreviations have to be supported. Now, well, there's no point going back to 1 down. We could go 11. I should go 10 across. Is that going to be intro or retro? Oh no, probably Puto maybe. Angelic boy, too much out of bed on reflection. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of these words that I only know from crosswords. But I think Puto is one of those cherubs, I think, that you often see, you know, if you go to Italy on holiday and you go to the Vatican, you know, all of the everything you see has putos on it, or putti maybe. But angelic boy, I think it's a puto. Seems to be putti. There we are. A plump, naked, very young boy, often winged in Renaissance or Baroque art. So, how does this come out of the recipe? Well, too much is, if something is too much, it's over the top, OTT. And if you're out of bed, you're up. And all of that is on reflection, so it is reversed. So a reversal of OTT up gives puto. And let's go back to, so it's not Beano's then. Oh, I hope it's not the name of some skirt, because I won't know it. Skirt, father, maid. I have got this. Yes, okay. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Okay, I sort of forgive myself for not solving this instantly. I was totally wrong about the definition being parties. It's not, it's skirt. And it's not the name of a skirt as in a small dress. It's to skirt, as in to go around. Now, how does the rest of this work? Well, the way I got it in the end was to read lasts for countless parties and realise that lasts for countless parties is telling me to take the last letter of the words countless and parties. Now, those last letters are both S. Now can I think of a word that means skirt? All of a sudden, yeah, it's going to be bypass. How does the rest of it work then? Well, if something is father made, if it's made by your father, it would be by par. That's outrageous. By par, and then the last letters for countless parties gives bypass. It's fantastic. It's just fantastic. Very witty, very original, and quite difficult. So 12 across. Let's have a look at this one. 5, 2, 3, 5. Let's try and get it just from that, because we should be able to, shouldn't we? Shock of the snack stick of the dun. No. Oh, I don't know. Come on. Let's go. Let's actually read the clue. That's probably sensible. Max often removed hateful clothes, and there they are. Speak of the devil is going to be the answer, isn't it? Speak of the devil. There they are. Now, why? Peak is probably a Max. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Okay. So Max often removed hateful clothes. The way this, again, it's just so skillful. So the max of something is its peak. Oft is just a short synonym for often, isn't it? So peak oft. Removed hateful clothes is saying that peak oft has a clothing of removed hateful. Well, what if you removed something, you shed it? You might shed your skin, for example. It would be removed. If something is hateful, it's evil. So shed evil has clothed, surrounded, peak oft, to give speak of the devil. And the thing that I'm just sort of lost in admiration for here is if we just cut the clue after the word clothes, Max often removed hateful clothes. It's such a natural sentence, and yet the way that the wordplay breaks down to give speak of the devil is really, really good. That's very clever. And okay, so where should we go next? Should we go 11 across? 9 letters beginning with R. Roguish club, made to look Victorian, perhaps. Opening for expats. Okay, I don't know what this is, but look at the last 3 words of this clue. Opening for expats. Now, if we're thinking about this in terms of recipe, opening for expats must be the letter E, mustn't it? The opening letter of the word expats. And that's right at the end of the clue, so it sort of suggests that maybe. But more importantly, it suggests the other side of the clue is going to be the definition, so roguish or roguish club. So I'm thinking reprobate, maybe. Is it something like reprobate? Made to look club could be bat. Made to look Victorian, perhaps. Retrobate. I want it to be a retro bat. Made to look Victorian, but I don't think retrobate is a word. Reprobate is a word, and it does mean roguish, but I don't know. This letter might help us. Let's just check 9 down. 6 letters. Oh, that's going to be upshot. Result. Result, you note, after baking. Yeah, lovely. Well, we're lucky here. We're lucky that I was imagining this could be a P, because that has made this clue much easier. So a result is an upshot. You note. Well, you in text speak now, which is becoming more common and more acceptable in cryptic crosswords. I mean, 5 years ago, I don't think you'd have got away with this, but now it's so ubiquitous to think of the letter U as meaning the word you that it's becoming more and more common. So I think you here is just you. A note after a letter, at the bottom of a letter you might put a PS, mightn't you? And if something is baking, if weather was baking, you'd describe it as hot. So UPS hot is how the recipe breaks down. Now that does suggest reprobate. Made to look Victorian. Why? A repro. Oh, is that a reproduction or something like that? Maybe that's it. I'm not. I think a repro might be a reproduction of something. So, you know, if you had something old and you reproduced it, it would be a repro bat. And then the opening for expats is E. So reprobate, I think I can justify now. I'm not going to change it, but I am going to look up repro to see if that is a short form of reproduction, especially designating modern copies of period styles of furniture. Okay, and that makes total sense now in the context of the clue. Now, shall we go for 5 across? Let's go for 5 across naked, if you like, in terms of no checking letters, but it would almost certainly give us a brilliant chance of solving 6, 7 and 8 down. So 6 letters. Forger's work that is collected by king. Yeah, we can do this. So it's very important that this word king, I mean, it's a difficult word for cryptic crossword solvers. Our current king, King Charles, has the abbreviations in cryptic crossword land of CR, Charles Rex. So our former queen was ER, Elizabeth Regina. So if you see former queen in a clue, it's very often going to be ER, rather than, I suppose it could be VR for Victoria Regina, but it's just going to be ER. But king, in fact, in this instance, it is CR, but it can be lots of other things as well. So king in a game of chess, in chess scoring, you would say king takes G8, key X G8. So K would be used as an abbreviation for king. So by king could be saying put something by the letter K. But also, because king can be rex from the Latin, where is that going to be? Rex, sometimes with allusion to the Rex Latin king. If we look under R, here, Rex Latin for king. So weirdly, the word king can be abbreviated to K because of chess scoring, but also R because of the Latin word for king. So this could be KR or CR at least. There may be other things as well. So that's why it's difficult. But here, the word work appears in the clue. And this is a piece of crossword ease that comes up quite a lot, and it's very important to know it. So if you see work in a clue, you could think of a short synonym like go. If something works, it goes, doesn't it? If a machine works, it's going, it goes. But most often, work is associated with OP. It's not a reference to Protoss in StarCraft 2, although it could be. No. I mean, how OP is Protoss? It's just ludicrous. But anyway, OP. Why is OP work? Well, this is a musical reference. If we look under opus, here we go. An opus, obviously, in terms of music, is a work here. So because OP can be an abbreviation for opus, that's how work becomes OP in cryptic crosswords. That is, i.e., id est. So here what you've got is OP for work, i.e. for that is, all being collected by King Charles, CR, that gives copier, and a copier is a forger. Now, if you're new to cryptic crosswords, that is probably all going to seem like absolute gibberish. And you're probably thinking, how? How is that solvable by anybody? Because you have to know there's a weird abbreviation for work. You've got to know the Latin for that is, and you've got to know that King Charles is CR. And I agree, it's all ridiculous in a way. But the more you practice, the more familiar you'll get. And I guarantee you, if you do these crosswords for 6 months, that clue is almost a gimme. Because these abbreviations are so common. So you'll pick them up really quickly. Anyway, we got all these starting letters now. So is this going to be of old or? Probably, yeah. So duck pen in history. One other thing that comes up as well as king abbreviations and military abbreviations is cricket. Cricket references are replete in cryptic crossword land. So here we see duck, and a duck score in cricket is no score, and therefore it's associated with the letter 0, which looks like the letter 0, the letter O, which looks like a 0. So O is duck. A sheep pen could be a sheepfold, couldn't it? So of old in history is the definition. But there are lots of other things that come up from cricket. If you see maiden, that's very often M from maiden over. If you see over, it's very often O from, again, if somebody has bowled 13 overs on cricket scoring, you'd write 13 O dot, and therefore the word over is often abbreviated to O. Right, what's this one going to be? I don't know. Let's read the clue again. 11 down. Thoughtless. Stripping Artex inside during run-up to Christmas. Well, I want that to be inadvertent then. The phrase during the run-up to Christmas. Well, the run-up to Christmas is Advent, isn't it? So during Advent would be in Advent. And that looks brilliant for the start of this clue. So it's almost going to start, definitely going to start like that. And it's going to end in T. And then thoughtless is inadvertent. So I think that's going to be the answer. Stripping Artex. If you strip the word Artex, i.e. remove its clothes, you'd remove its first and last letters. So take the A and the X away, you've got RTE. RTE, which has been included, look, in Advent. So inadvertent is the answer there. And you can see how much easier that clue becomes because we had these checking letters. It would be almost unsolvable without it, but let's look at this one. Riesling would fit. That's going to be right. White. Riesling is a white wine. So lies disguised with grin. Oh, so okay. So lies disguised with grin is. So we said that there has to be something in the clue that tells you to anagram things. Well, that's the word disguised. But the way the clue works is we're disguising the letters of the word lies with the letters of the word grin. So lies and grin get anagrammed. That should give us Riesling. And we're actually... Okay, so what... Yeah, bypass was brutally hard. But I think that there's going to be something... And clockwise was just fantastic. But I suspect the bottom half of the clue is going to have something, a sting in its tail, so to speak. Let's go for 15 across. 7 letters. Oh, this is going to be... Well, I'm seeing the word monkey, so I think I might know this. Let's see. You shouldn't have run home after mother, little monkey. You shouldn't have run home after mother, little monkey. And did you hear the way I phrased that clue as I read it? You've got to get used to reading these clues not as sentences. Break them down in your brain. So when I read that, I didn't read it as you shouldn't have run home after mother, little monkey. I read it as you shouldn't have, because that to me is redolent of the phrase thank you. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Thank you. And thank you, can we think of a short synonym for thank you? Yes, tar. If you're home, where are you? You're in, aren't you? And that goes after mother. Now I think mother there. Oh no. Yeah, run home. Sorry, run is cricket scoring. I was wondering where the R was coming from, and I've now understood it. You shouldn't have is tar. Run in. R in. After mother, mother is M-A for Ma. We saw Pa earlier, didn't we? Pa made an appearance in Bypass. Ma has made an appearance in Tamarin. And Tamarin is a little monkey. Let's have a look at that word. Tamarin. Any small Central or South American monkey related to the marmoset. You all knew that, didn't you? And there we go. We've done that one. Now, should we go? Let's go 13 down. With there's going to be a lot of words that fit this pattern, and beginning with E, 11 letters. Crooked seller denies disposing of one English antiquity in person. Well, I understand the recipe here, but I haven't solved the clue. Antiquity in person. Oh no, I have got it now. Sorry. Okay. So, crooked. We've seen examples already. We saw the word running. We've just seen it with Riesling. we saw the word disguised. A word like crooked, it should be screaming, could this be an anagram? Well, if it's an anagram, we need 11 letters for the anagram fodder, don't we? Seller denies is 12 letters, so that's too many. But then we get this phrase, disposing of one English. Now, it probably won't surprise you to know that if we look under E in the dictionary, we will see a lot of things, but one of those things is that, English. So this phrase, disposing of one English, is saying there are a lot of E's in the phrase seller denies, but we're going to get rid of just one of them, just one of the letter E's. And that would bring us down to 11 letters, wouldn't it? And then, if we anagram those, treat them in a crooked way, can we get a word that means antiquity in person? Well, yes we can, although it took me a moment to see it. Elderliness is what we're looking for there. And now we should look at 14 across. 6 letters. Notice should already be thinking, oh, bad habit. Okay, which professional might help you with? Well, again, there's a bit of crossword experience will take you a long way here. If you see the word notice, you should be thinking of an advert. Short synonym for an advert, an ad. A bad habit is a vice. And advice is something a professional might give you, might help you with. So again, so now we really have done the whole north half of the puzzle has been finished, and we still have one starting letter that we can make use of, so we should do that. So 9 letters beginning with M. Whiskers surely hurt, except the end bits. I don't know what this is, but the clue makes me laugh. Whiskers. Oh, is it moustache? Could be. Moustache has got ache at the end. It must be moustache, isn't it? I don't know quite why. Whiskers are a moustache. Surely must. Hurt, except the end bits. Okay, no, this is wrong. That's vicious. That is vicious. Right, okay. Very tempting to leave that in, and we would have been wrong to do so. Okay, it's a great clue, but only if you know that there is a different word for moustache, which is almost the same, but is, I think, that mustachio. And I think that's what we're looking for here. If something surely hurt, it must ache, except the end. So surely, must, ache except the end. So take the letter E, the end, off the word ache. We just get ACH. And bits, well, in binary, bits are made up of ones and zeros. The Roman numeral for the number 1 is I. 0, we've already seen, is often O in cryptic crossword land. So I think these are bits at the bottom, and mustachio are the whiskers that we're looking for, which is hard. If you wrote moustache in, if you were speed solving and you wrote moustache in, that's not going to help you with some of these checking entries, is it? Now we've got a choice. If I was solving on my own, this is what I would do, and it's probably not good technique. I'd be interested to know actually how other people solve, but I'd be so tempted to go for this because I'd get 4 starting letters, and that probably would be enough to help me with the. But I've got no help for it, so am I wasting time by doing this? Well, I suppose it depends whether you solve it or not. But let's look at 8 down. No, 17 down, which is 8 letters. That's a different thing altogether. So, sun diving in, bubbled away gently underwater. Submerged or something? Sun diving in bubbled away, simmered, immersed. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's lovely. It's just, actually, it's genius, that one. That is beautifully worded. Sun diving in, bubbled away gently underwater. But if I read it differently, sun diving in bubbled away gently underwater, then it's solvable. So underwater is our definition. If something's bubbling away gently on the stove, it's simmering, isn't it? It's immersed. It's simmered. For bubbled away gently, simmered. And then sun can be abbreviated to S, which is here. No. Or, well, it can be. Honestly, it can. Somewhere there. Okay, there it is. So sun is diving. S is diving. It's a down clue. So the S in simmered dives down the word. So if we write immersed in, you can see how the S has dived down the word simmered. Everything else is in the same order. So it's just a fantastic spot that you can make immersed from simmered if you just move the S down. And James has just worded that in a lovely way. If you're immersed, of course, you are underwater. And now it was worth doing this because we can look at this one with checking letters a go-go. 18 across, 7 letters beginning with M. Surface damage on minute or minute gold musical ornament. Surface damage on minute, it's going to be minute, on minute gold. There's too many letters in this. There's too many words in the clue. Damage. If you damage something, you mar it, M-A-R. So I'm immediately thinking that this is a word, a 7-letter word for a surface. And I can't think what that is. But minute can be M as abbreviation, as in the length of time, the minute. Gold is very often, well, there's two things gold is. I've said this before in these videos, but again, this probably bears repetition. If you see the name of a chemical element, you must be familiar with its abbreviation in the periodic table. So gold is AU. Silver is AG. It's not going to ask you for, what's Einsteinium or something. It won't ask anything too obscure, but the crossword setters will expect you to know that hydrogen is H, helium is HE, lithium is Li. All of those early ones are expected knowledge, I would say. Gold, definitely. It's so I don't know, prevalent. Well, no, that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. It's so common in a sort of in a colloquial sense, if not actually in a bank account sense. So gold can be AU, but gold also in cryptic crossword land, it can be, and this is the weird one, it can be OR as of the heraldic tincture. Here we go. In heraldry, the tincture gold is OR, and that does come up. So, in fact, maybe that is what we've got here. Could we have that? Surface damage. Or, oh, is this going to be mordant? Is that a musical ornament? I know, well, I'm about to say something that might then prove to be total gibberish, which is always the danger. But I'm pretty confident there is a word, mordant. I don't know what it means. I'd have thought it meant something to do with death. But if there was a word mordant, a dent is a surface damage. If you dent your car, it's surface damage, isn't it? So mordant, could it be a musical ornament? And I think ornament there is going to be as in like a flourish. So that might be a T in 19 down. Not sure. Let's look at 19 down. 6 letters. Box that might arrive at any time. It's a brilliant clue again. And the reason I think it's brilliant is that I look at it, I don't immediately know how to parse it. Most clues, because I've been doing this for so much time, I know I can read them and I'll be able to work out fairly quickly which part is the recipe and which part of is the definition. Here, box that might arrive at any time. I don't know. Is this a cryptic definition? There is the question mark at the end. A box is a type of tree. I'm thinking about tree because of this might be a T. Box that might arrive at any time. I don't know. That's a very interesting clue, and I don't know what it is. Let's go 22 across. 9, 6. This is one of these ones where you really hope you get this instantly, because otherwise, I don't know. Bad acne blights rude tattoos location. Okay, I think it's an anagram, isn't it? Acne blights rude. They look like very strange letters. 8, 9, yeah, that is 15 letters. So acne blights rude are treated in a bad way, so they are anagrammed. And tattoos location. Now, how, obviously tattoos can go in any position on your body, so I don't think we're looking for that. I think we must be looking at a different meaning of the word tattoo. And a tattoo is something that a drum major plays a tattoo, don't they? I think. So I think tattoo's location is going to be something to do with the military. I was thinking, is it something battle? But I don't think it is, actually. I've only got one T in my acne blights rude. A tattoo's location. What's this first word? Sorry, just give me a second. I should be able to get it. I can't see what it is. What on earth is this first word? I was thinking, is it enigmatic? I don't think it is. There's no M. Tattoo's location. Oh, Bobbins McBobbins face. I don't know. Oh, this is okay. So I was right. The bottom half of this is harder than the top half. Right, 24 across. Sorry, 5-4. Convenient telecoms facility spread far underground, south to west. Convenient telecoms facility. What? Smart, no. Speakerphone or something. Spread far underground, south to west. Convenient telecoms facility. I'm trying to think what that is. It's clearly, well, no, I'm not saying it's clearly anything. It's not clearly anything because I haven't got a clue. Oh, bobbins, right. 25 across, 5 letters. As a result of this coming through kitchen ceiling. As a result of this coming through kitchen ceiling. Okay. Well, there's almost always one of these in every Times crossword. Now there can be two if one of them is a reversal. And if you're totally new to the puzzle, these are the light relief. These are the things you will search and hunt for with diligence. That's exactly how we all started. Once we understood that there is almost always a clue in every cryptic crossword, which is a hidden. What do I mean by hidden? It means the letters of the answer here are actually spelt out in the clue. And if you look in the phrase kitchen ceiling, you will see spelt out H-E-N-C-E. Hence, as a result of this is the definition. That's what hence means, as a result of this. Now the constructor can't just hide answers in clues and not tell you that they're hidden there. So this phrase coming through is saying that coming through the letters of kitchen ceiling, you will find the answer. So the simplest way of indicating that something would be hidden would be a word like in. So imagine this clue read, as a result of this, in kitchen ceiling. It wouldn't read very well, but it would work technically, because inside the letters of kitchen ceiling, you will find H-E-N-C-E, the answer. But James uses coming through, because that can obviously have that same meaning, but it works so much better with the surface. So hence is the answer there. At least that was easier. We'll try 27 now. 6 letters. Frustrated guy with kids stuck with that woman. Frustrated. Yeah, I think... Well, I think... Oh, actually... I think it's dashed. If your hopes are frustrated, they're dashed, aren't they? Now, guy with kids, is that your dart? So we've already seen par up here, but dar, I think, especially if you were in Wales, you might refer to your father as your dar. So guy with kids might be dar. Stuck with that woman. Oh no, dad. No. All right, sorry. No, guy with kids is dad. D-A-D. That's better. That's we will check dar in a minute. Dar is a knife, I think, a Malay knife, but that could be wrong. But dad is the guy with the kids, and that's stuck with. Now, if something is stuck, it's stabbed into you, isn't it? If you stuck with is sort of a euphemism for being stabbed with. That woman is she. It's a sort of impersonal she. Rather than saying that woman, you might say she did that, wouldn't you? That woman did that. So she is stabbed into dad. Now, can dar be only in the dialectic form of dad? So I wasn't too far away. Oh no, it's not a Malay, it's a Burmese knife. Sorry, nearly, but it is a knife. So dashed is the answer there. We get the horrible checking E, which is of no use nor ornament. Let's go 20 across, 6 letters. Easy catch, but making it is relative. That must be... Yeah, it's just superb. It's not too difficult, this, but it's just so well worded. So what is an easy catch? I think we all know this word for an easy catch. It's a sitter, isn't it? But making it is. So we got a very precise recipe instruction. In the word sitter, we're going to take the it and make it into is. But that's what making it is saying to do, isn't it? So if we take the word sitter, which let's put it in, sitter, and make the it here into is, we would get sister. And that's a relative. Very, very clever and very well worded. Now let's try 20 down then. 7 letters. Learners spread chaos left and right. Okay, this is another one that's, thank goodness, a little bit easier. Make your decision. What's the definition? Learner's an interesting word, by the way, because if learner was the definition, that's one thing. But learner can be a learner driver would be someone with an L plate. So if you see learner, it can be L. But on the other hand, right can be R. So both the start and the end word of this clue have very natural abbreviations. But the definition here is actually learner. What's the recipe telling us to do? Spread the letters of the word chaos left and right. Well, left and right are L and R. If we can abbreviate both of those, it won't surprise anybody to L and R. So if we spread chaos L and R, anagram them, we can create scholar. And that's going to be the answer to that one. Let's keep going and see if we can sort of back into this southwest corner. 26 down, 3 letters. Score for your team immediately after kickoff. Oh, come on. That's very well worded again. Net? Score for your team immediately after kickoff. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Could it be nil? That would be a definition of the score a team would have immediately after the kickoff. I don't know. I don't understand that one yet. Let's try 28. 8 letters. Bear allowed little running water. Okay. I think this is a brooklet. If you bear something, you brook it, don't you? And if something's allowed, it's let. You let somebody do something, you allow them to do it. A little, and so a brooklet sounds like a small brook, as in a small piece of running water. I think brooklet probably is right. So that is going to be nil then, but why? Score for your team immediately after kickoff. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I know this is obvious, isn't it? Score for... Why can't I see why this is nil? You see, immediately after the kickoff of words suggests to take the second letter of words, but the second letter of these words is not very... They certainly aren't spelling out nil. For your team. Who's your... What's it mean by your team? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, could this unchecked letter be anything else other than I? I don't think it could. Score for your team immediately after kickoff. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. I mean, it's not. I don't think. I mean, you might say this is just a cryptic definition. Because the whole clue does define what the score would be for a team immediately after kickoff of a game. But I don't think, I think there's much more going on here than that. And I'm very conscious of the fact I'm not seeing it. But I'm pretty confident it's right, because I think N and L look very, very plausible. Hence is absolutely 100%. Brooklet, I'm 99% confident about. And I don't think there's another possibility for this letter. So sorry, I can't see what that is. Well, maybe I'll come back to it at the end. Hopefully my subconscious will work on it. Let's have a look at 21 down. 6 letters. Dew extended dry patch. Dew extended dry patch. I don't know. Dry is a funny word. Dry can sometimes mean as in without alcohol. So teetotal, TT. Dew extended. I think EXT. EXT might be an abbreviation for extended. So maybe it begins... It could begin EXT. No, there's no X in this anagram. So if extended was EXT, it would have to be like an extended play record. No. Due. A due, you pay your dues, don't you? Dry patch. Desert? Oh. Desert's a horrible thought there, isn't it? You get your just desserts. No, that's not the same spelling. Dew extended dry patch. A desert. Sere is a word that means dry. S-E-R-E. Patch. Or an extent or something. I don't know. This is a really worrying answer. Because I bet you what happens is that this is an E. And if that's an E, that is there's going to be about 300 words that would fit that pattern. And I don't understand why the answer would be desert. Dew. Dew is also, can it mean two in some other language? Dew or something. Extended dry patch. Anyway, we're going to have to go. Have we looked at this? Oh, we have looked at that one. We haven't looked at this one since we got the H. So the bad acne blights rude tattoos location is now Elizabeth? No. Tattoos location. What's the second letter here? Edinburgh. Edinburgh is what it is. Edinburgh Castle is what we're looking for. Okay. And I've got, now I've got the E here. Bobbins. Bobbins, that's not what we wanted. Have we looked at 20? Oh, no, we haven't looked at 23 down. 5 letters. Move, say, knight up. There's another chess piece there. Budge, possibly? Why? Why is it budge? I don't know. Move? Oh, yes, no, it is budge. Gosh. Because say is a word that means for example, isn't it? And for example is e.g. And if you actually knight somebody, if you perform the action of knighting somebody, you dub them, D-U-B. So e.g. dub all goes upwards, creating the word budge. And then we've got to go for 24 across. Speed dial, convenient telecoms facility. Okay, that will be right. But why? Spread far, underground, south. Oh, that's brilliant. Spread far is laid deep. And so spread far underground is laid deep. South is S from the compass point, and that's all sent to the west. And this is an across clue, so sending something westwards is a reversal indicator. So speed dial works here. Now this one, turnip? No, no. I keep thinking of this. I want this to have a T here. Box that may arrive at any time. What on earth? What? Box that might arrive at any time. Problem is, this could be an H or something, couldn't it? As well as lots of vowels. And that's only if this is a T. Box. Maybe I've got to get rid of the T in case it's wrong. Tariff would fit. No, it wouldn't. TARDIS. Oh my goodness, it's TARDIS. It's Doctor Who. That is a worldie. The TARDIS, in Doctor Who, it goes to different times. Oh, so the box, it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. And that's not easy. Oh, well, I mean, it's easy if you're a Doctor Who fanatic. But if you're not and you only watch it casually, and that's where I would put myself, it's a brilliant clue. It's so well expressed that might arrive at any time. Because it makes you think it's a present coming in the post. It's nothing of the sort. So mordant I'm going to go for, and I'm going to look up. Mordant. It is okay, so it is a grace note, in which the principal note is preceded in performance by itself and the note below. Okay, well that's good. So we are just left, I think. Well, we're left with nil oh, let's look up brooklet. I'm not changing brooklet, so I'm happy to look it up. Brooklet, a little brook. So that's exactly what we were looking for. And brook to bear. Fine. So that's definitely correct. So nil I can't explain unless it's a cryptic definition. Score for your team immediately after kickoff. I really want to explain that and I can't. And is this desert or is it something else? Dew, extended, dry patch. I don't know. Why? Why is this desert? I mean, a dry patch is a desert. Or is it something else? And I suspect this is the clue that's caused problems for everybody, because there are so many words that fit here. So many. I was thinking, could I use T to show you? But I mean, I could use the dictionary, but I might see an answer that then goes, oh, it's that. So I don't want to do that. But we will check, hopefully, at the end, how many clues there are that fit here. So due, extended. Something's due, it is. I don't know. dry patch. A patch of something is, or if you patch something, you repair it, don't you? And if it was extended here, dry patch. Extended dry patch. You pay your dues, you pay fees, don't you? You pay your subs. Wow. Normally when a constructor gets to the last down clues, they don't spend too much time on them, because you just, when you know, it's just human nature. When you get to the last few downs, you tend to clue them in order. You get the last few downs and you're sort of tired and hungry, and you often want to just stop writing clues. But nil is horrifically difficult. Budge wasn't very easy, and this one is, I don't know what's going on with it. Dry, extended dry patch. I wonder if due can mean, I was thinking of just desserts, but deserve in some form might have a tense that means dessert, that is dessert. So if you get your dues, you might get a, so maybe due is defining dessert in that, if there was such a form of the word deserve is what I'm thinking. And then desert is an extended dry patch. I could believe that. I think I would go for that. So let's risk that. Submit without leaderboard. And it is right. So if we go to desert, to leave, to forsake, obviously there's this meaning. Anything that is deserved, and that's a due. So something that your due is something that's deserved. So, and it does, it says see deserve. So it is from the same root as deservere, apparently. Okay, so that makes sense. So the only one I haven't made sense of, whoopsie, is 26. Score for your team immediately after kickoff. Well, unless that is a cryptic definition, which is possible. But I suspect that there is something more, something cleverer I'm not getting about that one. And I'm afraid, rather than watching me sit here and not get that, why don't I have a quick go at the hopefully a quick go at the quick cryptic, and just to finish the video, and then, well, let's see anyway. That's what I'm going to do. By Shay, so Killer Whale, that's going to be Orca. I'm not even going to check it. Real Thug suffering convulsions, laughter, I think. Sauna struggling, Nassau, animal nipping right bosom, beast with R in, small child's first to finish article, don't know. No, I don't think I do know. Poorest Jude on last of hard, thick slice of bread, doorstop, or doorstep perhaps actually. Celebration of Women's Institute speciality endured by you. Don't know. Feeling sad years after shock. Blue? No, I don't know. Bemoan unconvincing part of Bible. Don't know. One's pen. Don't know. Lie about end of war and conflict. Recline. Don't know. Passionate desire left American close to derangement. That is lost. There was so many I couldn't solve there. Macerate bananas for light meal is something like cream tea, I think. Perfume ingredient, balsam. That's a hidden. Fish struggle in water, flounder. Restrain dog beginning curb. Encourages cheers, I would think. Wimps are agitated when climbing. Wets stew, yeah. Dutiful, I'd been too obedient. Regularly sense journalists love strong drink. That must be espresso, I think. Reportedly rupture buttocks. I don't know. Virile embraces lead to intimacy for the most part. Mainly, yes. Leaving husband unshaven and offhand. Aloof, no. Leaving unshaven. You're sort of, don't know. Cotton on top of Turkish rug. Cotton on. Twig. Oh, that's a good clue. Very good clue. Small. Child's first to finish. Article. Item. Oh, might. Gosh, that's difficult. Celebration. Jamboree. Jam is or something with Women Institute. Could be a mope, I would have thought. Years after mop. Oh, mopey. God, that's horrible. Bemoan unconvincing part of Bible. I don't know. One's pens stay in the same. I bid them. Yeah, I think that's right. Lie about end of war and conflict. I don't know. Unshaven and offhand. I need to get this one. Reportedly rupture. Buttocks. Rupture. Break. Burst. I don't know. Why can't I get it? Unconvincing. If something is bemoan. Resent. I'm pretty sure it's New Testament at the end. It could be OT as well, but bemoan. I am. Oh, Simon, this is annoying. Lie about end of war. Lie. An omission? No. And conflict. Faction, fiction, friction, conflict, yeah. Okay. Oh, so is this breach? Oh, so your breaches or something, isn't it? So it's probably, I'm not sure of the spelling there. And offhand, you're sort of quite, oh, Simon, bemoan. Bemoan. Oh, unconvincing. If something's unconvincing, it's weak. It's pale. Bemoan. Oh no, unconvincing. Why can't I do it? And leaving her, I know what. Hairy. Airy must be offhand. So, unconvincing. Bemoan. Bemoan is. Yeah, lament, lame. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. It's a very good puzzle, actually, that. Very good puzzle. And it is correct. Okay, 28. So it's interesting. I think that's a little bit harder than a normal quick cryptic. There are mopey. You could easily just get that wrong. That was, if you're going at speed, I very nearly did get that wrong. What was it was something like feeling sad. Yeah, feel sad would be mope. So the right part of speech is mopey. It's just it felt like a weird word. Twig, friction, airy, lament, breach. That's quite a difficult corner. I'm just wondering if anyone else says that. Let's have a there's not a whole plethora of comments. So anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it that will be useful for your own solving. This is a masterclass of cryptic clue writing. There are some absolute worldies here. Clockwise, that might be my favourite, but there were others. Sister was beautifully worded. TARDIS is a world-class clue. My goodness me, that will get so much praise, deservedly so. I might, when I tweet about it, I might even include that clue. I was so impressed with it. Simmered and immersed, that was lovely. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, James. Really enjoyed it. If you enjoy these videos, please do like, please do subscribe. The algorithm canes these videos for reasons that are deeply frustrating to Mark and to me, because these puzzles are so wonderful and we really enjoy making the videos. So anything you can do to convince YouTube that actually, you know, these have a purpose, would be most grateful for. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.